In a seemingly ordinary home, behind closed doors, a web of lies, deceit, and manipulation unraveled into a chilling account of premeditated murder. What began as a troubled marriage under the strain of work pressures and emotional distance quickly escalated into a toxic love triangle. This ultimately led to a daring plan driven by greed, desperation, and a lethal proficiency with poisons. However, even the most carefully laid plans leave behind clues, and justice has a way of revealing the darkest secrets. In early 2023, in Durham, North Carolina, 34-year-old Simone Harris was working as a senior laboratory technician at Biotech Research Solutions, a company based in the Research Triangle Park. She specialized in chemical analysis and toxicology, having earned her degree from North Carolina State University in 2011. Her husband, Michael Harris, 36, was an associate attorney at a small, well-regarded firm in downtown Durham, focusing mainly on corporate litigation. The couple resided in a two-story colonial house in the Trinity Park neighborhood, an affluent area recognized for its historic homes and tree-lined streets. They enjoyed a comfortable middle-class life, with a combined annual income of around $135,000. Their marriage, which began in 2018, appeared stable to outsiders. However, by January 2023, their relationship had started to crumble. Michael's workload at Davidson and Mitchell grew significantly when the firm took on a major corporate client in late 2022, leading him to work 70-hour weeks, often returning home after 9 p.m. This pressure resulted in violent mood swings and frequent outbursts. Neighbors reported that the couple's arguments became more frequent and intense, especially on weekends when they were both at home. On February 15, 2023, Simone joined an online art enthusiast forum where she met Damon Reeves, a 29-year-old aspiring painter from nearby Chapel Hill. Damon worked part-time as a barista at Local Grounds Coffee while pursuing his artistic career. He lived alone in a modest studio apartment, supporting himself through part-time work and occasional art sales. Their initial interactions were focused on Simone's interest in buying artwork for her office, but these conversations soon turned into daily exchanges about their personal lives. Between February 15th and March 30th, 2023, Simone and Damon exchanged a total of 2,847 messages through the forum's private messaging system and various other apps. On April 2nd, 2023, they met face-to-face for the first time at a Durham Bulls baseball game, captured on stadium security cameras, where they spent about 4 hours together. They continued meeting at various locations in Durham and Chapel Hill, such as Sarah P., Duke Gardens, and the North Carolina Botanical Garden. Investigators uncovered a digital trail where Damon repeatedly spoke about his struggling art career and mounting debts. Bank records later revealed that he had a stable financial situation. By May 2023, he had convinced Simone to lend him a total of $3,400 over the course of 2 months. Their relationship grew closer throughout the spring, with cell phone records showing that Simone visited Damon's apartment regularly, either during lunch breaks or when Michael worked late. Security footage from Damon's apartment building showed Simone visiting him on 27 occasions between April and June 2023. During this time, Michael remained unaware of the affair, as he was consumed by a major corporate merger case at his firm. His life insurance policy, a standard $200,000 term policy with State Farm, had been purchased in 2019 as part of their financial planning, with Simone as the sole beneficiary. Bank records revealed that while the couple's finances remained stable, there were increasing withdrawals from their joint savings account, ranging from $200 to $500, which totaled approximately $3,400. Matching the amount Simone had lent to Damon, investigators found that the small withdrawal amounts were likely deliberate, aimed at avoiding suspicion. By July 2023, Simone and Michael's marriage had broken down beyond repair. Surveillance footage showed Simone accessing the laboratory's toxicology database multiple times between July 8th and July 15th, searching for information on various toxic compounds, particularly plant-based toxins that could mimic natural causes of death. During this time, Simone's communication with Damon intensified. Cell phone records revealed 47 calls between them during the first 2 weeks of July. Their conversations, later recovered from Simone's phone, revealed Damon's continued emotional manipulation, though he never directly mentioned harming Michael. On July 16th, 2023, security footage showed Simone entering the restricted storage area of the laboratory using her employee access card at 7:42 p.m. The company's inventory system later indicated that approximately 500 milligrams of atine, derived from the Monkhood plant, had gone missing. Atine is known for causing cardiac symptoms similar to heart failure. Simone's research was thorough, as evidenced by her computer search history, which included queries on the compound's properties, lethal doses, detection methods, and its breakdown rate in the human body, particularly in hot beverages. Her plan began to take shape on July 20th, 2023. Michael's routine typically involved drinking a cup of coffee prepared by Simone before leaving for work at 7:30 a.m. She started giving him small doses of atine, gradually increasing the amount to avoid suspicion. By July 27th, Michael began feeling unusually fatigued during a meeting at his law firm. By August 1st, he reported persistent nausea and chest pains to his doctor, who attributed it to work stress and recommended rest and anxiety medication. Throughout August, Simone pretended to be concerned about her husband's health. She encouraged him to cut back on work and took on more household duties. Witnesses remembered her checking in on Michael and bringing him lunch. Meanwhile, Simone's relationship with Damon continued to grow. Security footage from various Durham locations showed them meeting regularly, often when Michael had doctor's appointments. Their text messages, later recovered by investigators, revealed Damon's increasing emotional manipulation, although he never directly suggested harming Michael. By late August, Michael's condition worsened, and he experienced dizziness and heart palpitations. On August 25th, he collapsed during a court session and was briefly hospitalized. Doctors found no clear cause for his symptoms, and the hospital's toxicology screening did not include tests for atine. During this time, Simone began making preparations for an insurance claim. She contacted State Farm on August 28th to inquire about the claims process, citing concern for Michael's health. Investigators later determined that Simone also researched cremation services, likely to destroy evidence of the poisoning. Surveillance footage revealed 2 additional late-night visits by Simone to the restricted storage area in August, suggesting she was obtaining more atine. The company's inventory system showed discrepancies matching these visits, although the exact quantities taken could not be determined due to poor record-keeping. On September 10, 2023, around 8:45 p.m., Simone made a 911 call reporting that her husband, Michael, had collapsed in their kitchen after dinner. Emergency responders from Durham EMS arrived at 8:52 p.m., finding Michael unconscious on the kitchen floor with Simone performing CPR as instructed. Paramedics Thomas Wilson and Maria Rodriguez documented severe cardiac arrhythmia and respiratory distress upon arrival. Despite immediate medical interventions, including emergency cardiac medications and defibrillation, Michael's condition continued to worsen during transport to Durham Regional Hospital. At 9:37 p.m., Dr. James Anderson declared Michael dead in the emergency department. The initial death certificate listed acute cardiac arrest as the cause, but Dr. Anderson noted that Michael's young age and rapid decline were unusual for a natural cause. Soon after Michael's death, Simone contacted Morton Funeral Services and requested immediate cremation, presenting a document allegedly signed by Michael that expressed his desire for cremation in March 2022. However, a forensic document examination later revealed inconsistencies in the signature. On September 11th, Michael's younger sister, Brianna Harris, a registered nurse with 15 years of experience in cardiac care, arrived at Durham Regional Hospital. Brianna questioned the circumstances surrounding her brother's death, noting that his medical history showed no prior heart issues, and his annual physicals from 2020 to 2022 had reported excellent cardiac health. Her suspicions grew after reviewing his medical records from the past 2 months. The progression of symptoms, from mild fatigue to severe cardiac problems, didn't follow the typical pattern of natural heart disease. Instead, it seemed more consistent with poisoning. The breakthrough came on September 15th when toxicology tests revealed traces of atine in Michael's blood and tissue samples. The concentrations indicated repeated exposure over weeks rather than a single fatal dose. Dr. Palmer's report, filed on September 17th, classified the death as a homicide by poisoning. The Durham Police Department's Major Crimes Unit opened a formal investigation on September 18th, led by Detective Marcus Thompson. The initial focus was on Michael's home and workplace, A search of the Harris residence on September 19th uncovered coffee grounds and multiple beverage containers that tested positive for aconite residue. During this time, Simone continued her convincing display of grief, arranging a memorial service at Durham Presbyterian Church on September 16th, which over 200 people attended. Colleagues from Michael's law firm described her emotional tribute as deeply moving and seemingly heartfelt. However, inconsistencies in Simone's behavior began to surface. Surveillance footage showed her returning to work on September 13th, despite being offered bereavement leave. Building access logs revealed she entered the toxicology lab after hours, even though she had no active projects. Additionally, cell phone records revealed multiple calls between Simone and Damon Reeves in the hours following Michael's death, contradicting her earlier claims to police that she had spent that time alone grieving. Bank records also showed a $1,000 transfer to Damon's account on September 11th, just hours after Michael's death was confirmed. On September 20th, 10 days after Michael's death, Simone filed a claim with State Farm for the $200,000 life insurance payout. The timing of this claim, combined with her earlier attempts to expedite Michael's cremation, raised red flags for investigators. The insurance company placed a hold on the claim while awaiting the results of the investigation. Detective Lionel Porter, a 15-year veteran of Durham's Major Crimes Unit, took over the case on September 21st. He reviewed Simone's actions concerning the insurance claim, noting that she contacted State Farm multiple times between September 11th and 20th, showing unusual urgency to process the payout. On September 23rd, Porter interviewed Michael's colleagues at Davidson and Mitchell Law Partners. Senior partner Thomas Davidson described Michael as becoming increasingly unwell before his death, but noted his determination to finish a major corporate merger case. Legal assistant Jennifer Martinez recalled Simone's frequent calls to check on Michael, which initially seemed caring but later appeared calculated. The investigation gained traction on September 25th, when Detective Porter obtained a warrant to search the Harris home. Crime scene officers discovered a critical piece of evidence: a small vial containing a tine hidden in a compartment of Simone's work bag. Laboratory analysis confirmed the substance matched the toxin found in Michael's system. A forensic examination of Simone's personal laptop, seized during the search, revealed extensive research into undetectable poisons. Her browser history, dating back to July 2023, included searches for atine detection in autopsy reports, natural look poison deaths, and the time it takes for atine to leave the system. These searches had been made in private browsing mode, but were recovered by the department's cyber forensics team. The investigation took a significant turn when analysts uncovered thousands of text messages between Simone and Damon, documenting their evolving relationship and Damon's subtle manipulation tactics. In one message from August, Damon wrote, "I wish I could give you the life you deserve. These financial struggles are killing my dreams, and you're the only one who understands." Detective Porter's team tracked Damon's phone activity to the Pine Grove Motel on September 27. Surveillance teams observed him keeping a low profile, paying for his room in cash, and ordering food delivery services. When confronted by detectives, Damon initially claimed to be a casual friend of Simone, denying any knowledge of Michael's death. However, after a 6-hour interrogation led by Detective Porter and Detective Sarah Rodriguez, Damon's story began to unravel. After being confronted with evidence of his extensive communication with Simone and the financial transactions between them, Damon revised his statement. He acknowledged manipulating Simone emotionally, but denied ever directly suggesting harm to Michael. The interrogation transcript revealed Damon's manipulative tactics, where he admitted to portraying himself as a struggling artist despite having a stable income and savings. Bank records confirmed that between February and September 2023, Simone transferred over $7,200 to Damon, while his own account held a balance of more than $115,000. On September 29th, facing potential charges of conspiracy to commit murder, Damon agreed to cooperate with prosecutors. His plea agreement required full disclosure of his relationship with Simone and his testimony against her in court. In his formal statement, Damon outlined how he systematically exploited Simone's emotional vulnerability, although he maintained he never expected her to resort to murder. Further investigation of Biotech Research Solutions revealed key evidence. Security footage showed Simone accessing the restricted toxicology storage area multiple times outside normal working hours. The company's internal investigation confirmed that 1.5 grams of aconitine had gone missing from inventory between July and September 2023. Detective Porter also discovered that Simone had researched methods to speed up cremation and had contacted 3 different cremation services in the Durham area before Michael's death. Funeral service records revealed that Simone had first inquired about expedited cremation on August 30th, 11 days prior to Michael's death. On January 4th, 2024, Durham County Superior Court Judge Robert Blackwood presided over Simone Harris's trial, where she was charged with first-degree murder and insurance fraud. District Attorney Margaret Wilson led the prosecution, while defense attorney David Sanderson represented Simone. The trial drew significant media attention, with the courthouse's main courtroom filled to capacity each day. In her opening statement, DA Wilson presented a timeline starting in February 2023, when Simone first met Damon, and ending in September 2023 with Michael's death. She emphasized the premeditated nature of the crime, highlighting Simone's toxicology expertise and calculated approach to the murder. Key testimony came from Dr. Victoria Palmer, the forensic pathologist who performed Michael's autopsy. Dr. Palmer explained how the gradual administration of atine caused severe symptoms, ultimately leading to cardiac arrest. Her testimony demonstrated that the poisoning occurred over approximately 6 weeks, illustrating clear premeditation. Detective Lionel Porter presented digital evidence recovered from Simone's devices, showing her extensive research into poisons, methods of administering atine, and techniques for avoiding detection, along with her post-mortem queries. Porter also outlined the financial transactions between Simone and Damon, totaling over $7,200 during their relationship. On January 12th, Damon Reeves took the stand as part of his plea agreement. Over 2 days of testimony, he described how he manipulated Simone while claiming he never directly encouraged Michael's murder. Damon admitted to fabricating financial struggles to exploit Simone's vulnerability and acknowledged receiving money from her despite his substantial savings. The defense, led by Sanderson, focused on portraying Simone as a victim of emotional manipulation. He argued that Damon's calculated exploitation of her vulnerability, coupled with the stress from her failing marriage, impaired her judgment. The defense also presented testimony from Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a forensic psychologist, who diagnosed Simone with dependent personality disorder, exacerbated by emotional abuse. On January 18th, Simone testified that her actions were driven by Damon's manipulation and her declining mental health. However, under cross-examination by DA Wilson, she struggled to explain her detailed research into poisons and her attempts to expedite cremation, which made her testimony appear rehearsed and inconsistent, undermining her credibility with the jury. After 6 hours of deliberation on January 25th, 2024, the jury returned guilty verdicts on all counts. During the sentencing phase on February 1st, Judge Blackwood heard impact statements from Michael's family, including his sister Brianna, who described the profound effect of losing her brother to such a deliberate betrayal. Judge Blackwood sentenced Simone Harris to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole for first-degree murder, plus an additional 10 years for insurance fraud to be served consecutively. In his sentencing statement, the judge highlighted the particularly calculated nature of the crime and the betrayal of both professional and marital trust. Damon Reeves, as part of his plea agreement, received a 10-year sentence for conspiracy to commit insurance fraud and accessory after the fact. His relatively lenient sentence reflected his cooperation with prosecutors, although Judge Blackwood noted the manipulative nature of his actions in determining the final sentence length. In the months following the trial's conclusion in February 2024, the ripple effects of Michael Harris's murder continued to impact the Durham community and beyond. Brianna Harris emerged as a prominent advocate for reform, founding the Michael Harris Foundation in March 2024. The foundation focused on 2 primary initiatives: strengthening security protocols for toxic substances in research facilities and educating the public about psychological manipulation in relationships. Biotech Research Solutions implemented immediate changes to their security protocols, including advanced tracking systems for toxic substances, dual authentication for restricted areas, and mandatory psychological evaluations for employees handling dangerous materials. These changes became a model for other research facilities across the state, Simone Harris began serving her life sentence at the North Carolina Correctional Institution for Women. Prison records from her first 3 months of incarceration indicated her gradual acceptance of responsibility for her actions in mandatory counseling sessions. She acknowledged how her professional expertise had enabled her to carry out the calculated murder while continuing to blame her actions on emotional manipulation. The Durham Police Department used the case to develop new training protocols for detecting poisoning in deaths that appear natural. Detective Lionel Porter conducted seminars for law enforcement agencies across the Southeast, stressing the importance of thorough investigations in cases of sudden death, particularly when insurance policies were involved. Davidson and Mitchell Law Partners established the Michael Harris Memorial Scholarship at the University of North Carolina School of Law, awarded annually to students who demonstrate dedication to ethical legal practice. The firm also implemented a wellness program to address work-life balance and mental health support for its attorneys, acknowledging the role that workplace stress had played in the events leading to Michael's death. Damon Reeves began serving his 10-year sentence at Central Prison in Raleigh. Despite maintaining his ignorance of the murder plot, prison records indicated that he repeatedly attempted to contact Simone through various intermediaries, suggesting a continuing pattern of manipulation. All such attempts were intercepted by prison authorities. State Farm Insurance implemented new protocols for investigating life insurance claims involving sudden death in otherwise healthy individuals. The company established a specialized unit dedicated to reviewing suspicious claims, incorporating lessons learned from the Harris case into their training materials. Michael Harris's legacy continued to influence the Durham legal community. His former colleagues at Davidson and Mitchell created an annual ethics seminar in his memory, focusing on maintaining personal integrity in the face of professional pressures. The firm's managing partner, Thomas Davidson, frequently spoke about how Michael's dedication to his work, while admirable, underscored the need for better support systems within the legal profession.